You honestly could not have written it any better. The New York Knicks have broken the Trump curse after Wednesday's historic comeback victory against the Spurs, just proving that Trump really was the bad luck charm all along, as they lost the one game that he showed up at. And New Yorkers are quick to point that out.
Trump. I blame Trump for the simple fact that we won 13 consecutive games, and as soon as Trump show up, all shit goes to...
Trump, you're a bad fucking luck charm. I hate you. The president is orange. My Knicks wear blue, and I'll be goddamn if the Spurs take two.
Even Representative Gregory Meeks blames Trump for the first half slump that the Knicks had.
You know, it took a half to get the juju out. And so when we finally did, after halftime, the garden was restored, and the Knicks came back.
Others writing online, this is proof that it was Trump's fault. He's a curse to every team that he picks. Fuck Trump, let's go Knicks. He picked the Chiefs to win, they lost. He went to the Mets game, they lost. Knicks game, they lost, right? Anything he picks loses. The attitude after a game 4 in New York has been electric across the board. The entire night, people were celebrating and chanting, cheering, with fans erupting across the city. I guess that sage burning that happened outside of Madison Square Garden really did do the trick in removing that wicked Trump spell from the facilities there. So shout out to all the TikTok witches who made it happen. Appreciate you. And of course, America's favorite mayor, Zohran Mamdani, was out in public, out and about with the people of New York, watching the game with the rest of the city, and his pop-off when they win is cartoonishly wholesome. Like, come on. That guy was ready for the celebration of the century, and he delivered. He looks like a kid on Christmas that just got his favorite toy. Like, he's so joyful. So joyful. Like, New York gets everything. They get everything. But, of course, Donald Trump, the massive Knicks fan that he, the massive Knicks fan that he is, he probably should have said something about this historic comeback victory. But, of course, if you check his Truth Social, where he has, a billion posts a minute, yeah, nothing. Radio silence. I mean, seriously, the guy posts like 70 times in one night and he doesn't mention the game. He mentions how we should get rid of birthright citizenship and how it's not economically or otherwise sustainable for the country or the world. Consequence does it, President Donald J. Trump. Or he also posted this video of him signing a bunch of MAGA hats with a bunch of chuds right here. And he also responded to Stephen A. Smith, who has been on a tear against Trump ever since they lost Game 3.
He should have been ashamed of himself for disrupting that and showing up to the game in Game 3. And I do blame him for the loss because as far as I'm concerned, it disrupted the momentum. I'm a New York Knicks fan. Everybody knows that. So is he. So are all of us as New Yorkers. And in the world of sports, you do get a bit superstitious at times. Whatever is working, don't disrupt it.
Trump responded to Stephen A. Smith, writing, "Stephen A. Smith is an arrogant fool, a low IQ individual." In other words, he's dumb as a rock and totally unqualified to ever think of running for high political office, or even low political office for that matter. He'd get annihilated in a debate, I can't help myself, by the most incompetent of politicians. Joe Biden's now fabled performance would look great by comparison to anything that this loudmouth huckster has to offer, which isn't much. Within a few weeks, they'd laugh him out of politics. Okay, I apologize for the Trump voice, but it's just too good. It's just too fun. It's fun, okay? Putting aside my beautiful Trump voice, this is a Trump classic, right? Calling people of color low IQ is just kind of, another checklist on the books of things that Trump does that's terrible and awful, but we just kind of see as normal nowadays, right? You can basically bet on it, and it's a confirmed win. But Donald Trump calling someone low IQ is really funny when he can't even point to a horse properly on a brain damage diagnosis card. But it's not even over yet because Stephen A. Smith also responded to this statement with some absolute heat. Take a look.
You want to talk about IQ? I could say I put my IQ up against yours any day of the week. I could go one better. I could ask you why you've been running from me the last year since I wanted to talk to you. I could ask you to debate me. Since you think you that dude, okay? We can go a myriad of ways with all of this, but I'm not gonna let you off the hook because none of that is important. I do appreciate the fact that you called me a nice guy because shh, don't tell anybody, but I actually am a very nice guy.
So, I guess after all of this, Trump going to the game was just a selfish bit of narcissistic bullshit so that he could take the most annoying taxpayer-funded nap of all time. Huh. All the while, Zohran continues to absolutely obliterate the competition because, surprise, surprise, he did another amazing thing for the city during this game. He utilized dozens of those information screens across the city to broadcast the game live so that anyone, whether they're walking down the road or just sitting on a bench, could be watching the game at a literal information screen anywhere. And if you thought it couldn't get any better, come on, it's Zohran. Why do you think that? Of course it can, right? So he is now using the Knicks momentum to create new PSAs for the city to help people during the summer months when it gets real hot. He tweets, "New York City, the Knicks are heating up and so are we." And then he has a little clip here to show.
It's getting hot outside New York, and rising temperatures can mean dangerous, life-threatening conditions. Every year, more than 500 New Yorkers lose their lives to extreme heat. The New Yorkers who are most at risk are older, or they have heart disease or asthma, or they're homeless, or they don't have air conditioning in their home.
He may be the best to ever do it, right? We need to figure out a way to get this guy into the White House because, dude, like, he is spending all of his time on what actually matters, right? Focusing on New Yorkers and how they are able to live in this really expensive city. He's also tackling that too.
Now, our city is grappling with one of the worst housing crises in American history. A crisis that sits at the very root of the affordability crisis, burdening so many across this city. No cost weighs heavier than housing. Too many have looked at their mortgage payment and utility bill and wondered how they could possibly afford both. Too many have sat around the kitchen table at night doing an impossible equation, trying to find a way to stay in the city that they love. And too many have been forced to live in buildings languishing in disrepair with nowhere else to go, no way to find a permanent, more stable option. City Hall will no longer sit idly by as this crisis worsens. Instead, we are taking action and transforming the housing landscape of this city.
Public infrastructure, houses, buses, NBA, and now FIFA, right? There is nothing stopping this guy. He's just kicking ass wherever he goes. And the administration is clearly salty about it because Zohran is doing what everyone thought was impossible, right? Everyone said, oh, I can't do this. Oh, let's run Cuomo. He's a centrist. He'll get things done, right? Blah, 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 blah. So people crash out and whine because Zohran is actually getting things done because they're a bunch of corrupt, spineless losers like Mark Wayne Mullen, who had this to say.
When you take somebody like Mamdani, who is just this radical socialist, that's anti-law enforcement, anti-police, it's shameful because NYPD is awesome. But you got a mayor that's not allowing them to do their job. And it's shameful. All these guys in the NYPD, they just want to go to work. They want to do something that they feel like they were called to do, and they're great at it. But they got a leader that's handcuffing them. And hopefully people of New York will wise up and get a true leader in there in a few years.
Ah, yes, a true leader, a true patriotic warrior like Donald Trump, who takes naps 4 times a day, can't hold his bowels for more than 8 minutes, keeps killing Americans both here and abroad in unnecessary foreign wars, all because of Israel at the behest of Benjamin Netanyahu, because he continues to pursue the interests of a foreign nation over the United States. And that's really what it comes down to, right? Mamdani is actually supporting New Yorkers, Americans, people who pay taxes in this country, in the country that they live in, right? That is what he's doing. But however, Trump and the whole government that he runs isn't. Bottom line. Because these Zionist stooges just think that people don't care and that we all love Israel. It's all groovy, baby. But it's not. And on that note, there's this one other Zionist stooge that I want to show you, and he was actually at the game.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld.
What up, Seinfeld? What up? Can we get a free Palestine? Can we get a free Palestine? Come on, give us one free Palestine.
It doesn't exist.
Please, for the love of God, don't be like Jerry Seinfeld. I beg you. But I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to US Democratic Socialists, and also don't forget to comment. I would love to hear your thoughts about this and more. So be sure you do all that good stuff down below. Go Knicks. Knicks in 5. Here we go, baby. Have a good one. I'm Iago Lashua. Goodbye.